So, you're coming to Iceland in the wintertime and you're wondering what to wear. Well, I'm here to tell you. In this video, I'll quickly go over what weather to expect, what you need to wear, and why. No fluff or anything like that, just straight to the point. So let's start with the weather. The winter in Iceland is from November until March. And though each month is different, the one thing you can be sure of is that it's gonna be windy. The temperature is fairly warm, not extreme. And we don't usually see snow until the end of December here in the south. The coldest month of the year, for example, is January, and the average temperature is about -1 degree Celsius, which is 31 Fahrenheit. So, not that cold on paper, but what we don't do here in Iceland is we don't factor in the wind chill, which again, is always present. So don't let the temperature fool you. It might feel about -10 to 2 degrees, depending on the month. And because it isn't that cold, you can expect a lot of rain. I recommend checking out our blog for each individual month, which I'll be linking down in the description below. Now, let's move on to what to wear. So let's start with thermal underwear. These bad boys are a must. And why do you want to wear them? Because they breathe well, they keep you warm, and they dry fast. The brand doesn't really matter, as long as you're wearing it. I personally don't go traveling without wearing my thermal underwear. Then, you want to wear good socks. They don't have to be super thick, they just have to dry fast and breathe well. Why? It's because you're going to be walking a lot. And if your socks and boots aren't breathable, you're going to start sweating in your boots, you're going to get wet, and you're going to get cold. And if your feet are cold, you're in trouble. Moving on to the mid layers. Now, I personally like to skip the mid layers if you're wearing good outer layers. However, this will of course depend on the person and how windy it gets. So the windier it is, the more layers you want to have on. But I recommend starting off with just the base layers and then adding on the layers depending on the wind and the activity you're doing. So for example, if you're going to be walking a lot, you're not going to need mid layers, unless it's very windy. But if you're hunting for the northern lights, you're going to be standing still for a long time, in which case, throw on all the layers you have. So, what mid layers do I recommend? Sweatpants, hoodies, or sweaters. You want the sweaters or hoodies to be from maybe a sports brand because they tend to breathe better than the regular ones. And then you could also wear a fleece. That's a bit heavy duty in my opinion, but it's always a good option to have if you're prone to cold. You could also wear a thin down jacket. Now that's a bit extreme, so maybe mainly for the people that are very cold all the time. And now for the main course, the outer layers. So, the most important thing to wear in the wintertime is the winter parka. Why? Because it's made for extreme conditions, is or should be highly water resistant and windproof. This is the reason why I skip out on the mid layers most of the time. But a good parka won't be enough if you're not wearing outdoor pants. The outdoor pants don't have to be super thick or insulated. That's why we're wearing the thermals and joggers or sweatpants, if it gets to that. The pants have to protect you from the wind, the rain, and the cold. You don't want rain pants, because even though they're completely waterproof, they don't breathe well. So you'll just start sweating a bunch when you start walking. And then, finally, the boots. You'll want Gore-Tex or similar. Why? It's because you want them to be breathable and water resistant so you don't sweat as fast. They should protect you from the wind, cold, and rain, but they should also have ankle support and good grip underneath. Though if you're coming in December, January, or February when it's going to be very icy, you're going to need crampons underneath. Rubber boots are not recommended because even though they are completely waterproof, they don't breathe well. So you'll just start sweating and you'll get cold and that's it. And again, you can rent all of this stuff at icelandcover.com. So, to recap, windy, cold, and possibly raining. To stay warm, wear thermals, possibly mid layers depending on the wind, a winter parka, outdoor pants, and hiking boots with ankle support and good grip. And that's it! I hope you found this video helpful and that you have a better idea of what you need to stay warm and cozy while you travel here in Iceland. See you in the next video!